Folks, this is the Moon Griffon Show. Of course, we're visiting with Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Mr. Sessions, first of all, good morning and welcome to the great state of Louisiana.
It's good to be here and good to be in New Orleans, and we're looking forward to a good meeting this morning with the National Sheriff's Association, who's having their conference here. I'll be speaking to them and then meeting with our United States Attorney and his staff and the state and local law enforcement officers, too, who we depend on every day for federal criminal work.
Mr. Sessions, when you come to something like that, what is the goal? I mean, I'm sure it's to bring everything together. Is it to get ideas, or do you have your own ideas you want to kind of share with local law enforcement?
Yeah, well, we have a few big ideas. The President, Trump, directed us to reduce crime in America, not to let it keep going up. It jumped the last 2 years after 30 years of decline, really. And so we're already bringing that down, but it can't be done without the partnership with state and local sheriffs and police chiefs and state officials, because 85% of law enforcement is state and local. So we are committed to backing the men and women in blue, partnering with them, helping them reach interstate and even internationally to take down these big crime organizations.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A tough chore. We're speaking with Attorney General Jeff Sessions. He's in New Orleans, big conference going on. Attorney, let's change gears on a couple subjects. One of them is, Mr. Trump, President Trump, ran, and I think one of the things that helped him get elected was his fight against what's going on with illegal immigration. I know we talk about immigration a lot. I think you and me agree. We all for immigration. I have no problem with somebody coming here legally. Give us the status on where we are now, about a year and a half in his presidency. Are we making a fight? Is the fight real? Are we able to do some things to stop some of the flow? I know the wall's not built yet, but that's kind of on Congress too. So where are we now with the fight against illegals?
Well, when President got elected, we had this incredible, just immediate drop in illegal entries. But it's going back up. The numbers have been increasing steadily. In many ways, it's steadily increasing. And we've got to focus on it. And there are a lot of loopholes and gimmicks in the system that make it very difficult to create an orderly system of immigration. And as you said, we admit 1.1 million people to permanent legal residence in the United States, putting them on a pathway to citizenship within 5 or more years. This is a very generous nation, the most generous nation in the world. But the American people know that there's criminal element in the illegality at the border. All our methamphetamine, heroin, fentanyl, almost all of it is coming across the border from Mexico. So we need to end that lawlessness, make sure we're not letting criminals in, but good people in. And we're not there yet. Congress is going to have to help. The President has been very generous about reaching across the aisle with a very, I think, reasonable plan, but they are resisting steadfastly. It's a huge matter, yeah. I got to tell you. And, one of the things that's controversial right now is this allegation about separating families. What's happened was, Moon, that for years we just never prosecuted adults if they were bringing children with them. And we went from 14,000 coming in that way to 75,000 in 4 years. It's become a huge loophole. It was known throughout the Western world that if you came with families, nothing would happen to you. You would be released in the United States, and you may or may not go back to court if you wished. So we said adult who brings a child in needs to be prosecuted like everybody else. And we're prosecuting adults throughout the country, throughout the border, who come illegally. Our goal is 100%, because you just can't allow this unlawful act to occur and not respond to it. You encourage more of it. So we're making progress there, and we are treating, we spend $1 billion a year taking care of children that have entered the country unlawfully. They're placed in the hands of the Health and Human Services, who are not a law enforcement agency, but a care agency to provide health care to them, education to them, housing to them, food and safety. and that's what they do every day. So we do not want to harm a single child, but we just cannot create a total loophole, give immunity to somebody who brings a child unlawfully. Yeah. And if they bring that child and they come as a family and enter the port of entry and make a claim for asylum, that will be processed. They will not be arrested. They will not be separated.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if they enter at the desert somewhere, climbing a fence somewhere with children, that's the ones that are clearly violating the law, and will be, the parents at least, would be prosecuted.
Yeah, Attorney General.
They don't serve long times in jail, but we are going to assert the law if they enter in that fashion.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions, of course, we only have a few minutes. You're in New Orleans, big conference. Real quick, the IG report came out. I'm going to go back just to average guy. I'm such an average guy. And the average people look up, and we feel like, the president's deemed it a swamp, and it's kind of stuck with us average folks. And we look up and we see what's going on. We see Hillary Clinton and what things that happened under Barack Obama. We get frustrated. You, the Attorney General, then things happen under Donald Trump. We get frustrated because it's going in the opposite direction. The IG issues a report. Will something else happen to make the average guy like me go, you know what? This swamp ain't as bad as I thought it was. Good things are going to happen. And this report has been issued. What's coming out of this report? What do you think may come out of this report?
Well, reform and return to discipline has got to come out of this report. We can't have politics infecting our investigations. We can't have these massive leaks, people hanging out with the media and talking to them about investigations they shouldn't talk about. So we've got to tighten up here. Let me say this to you, man. A lot of things have happened that people haven't fully appreciated. I recommended the termination of Mr. Comey. I fired Andy McCabe, the deputy director of the FBI. The entire leadership team at the FBI has changed. The director, Chris Wray, is from Atlanta, King and Spalding great attorney, and a former Department of Justice official and prosecutor for a number of years. The deputy director is new. His chief of staff is new. The legal counsel is new. The communications director is new. And we're already beginning to tighten up that thing. And if somebody needs to be fired based on this report, they're going to be fired.
Okay.
Somebody needs to be prosecuted, they'll be prosecuted. So, yes, much of the action that needs to be taken is already being taken, and we're going to continue at it.
All righty, Mr. Attorney General, I know you have to go. Hope you enjoy New Orleans and Louisiana. If you can't find something good to eat down there, call me, because there's plenty to eat.
Last night, I ran into an Alabama group, and sheriffs at Commander's Palace.
Woo! We
dined in high style, I got to say.
Well, if you were there, you were enjoying yourself. But anyway, thank you so much. Best of luck. God bless.
All right, bye-bye.